Hi everyone, I'm Alex. This is Lee from Ivy. We've spoken to many of you in the past couple weeks, and we're so excited to have you all here today to join the conversation. We've been flooded with questions about the acquisition, so we really wanted to take the time, the two of us, alongside Liza from Houzz, to really address all of your questions following this news. So we're really excited. Please feel free, ask us questions, and even after the webinar, even if we don't have time to address all of your questions today, we really want you guys to reach out to us. I mean it, and I've spoken to many of you, and so has Lee. We really want both of you, all of you, to reach out to us for a conversation.
Yeah, and as Alex said, if you have any questions, you can call my cell phone number. It's 646-467-0600. That is my cell phone number. I want to hear from you, and also our email. So it's alex@ivymark.com, and it's lee@ivymark.com. So if you have concerns after this webinar or open questions, you can call us. We're here for you. So yeah.
Great. So besides that, we also wanted to share some fun news, which is a bunch of new features that we are in the process of releasing. So as you guys know, we just launched to-do lists, which is amazing and something that you guys have been waiting for a long time, but we're also in the process of developing a mobile app and room boards, which is, again, two things that you guys have been actively asking for. So we're very excited about these new releases.
Yeah, and on that point, one reason why we feel that this partnership with Houzz really is the best thing for the Ivy community, for our designers we love dearly, is because it allows us to move forward on features that would have taken us not just months, but years. So that mobile app, for instance, that Alex just mentioned, that would have taken us years to do, and now we can do it. So what makes us really excited about this, and why we feel confident that this is the best thing for our trade community, is we are going to have the resources in terms of manpower to be able to provide better customer support for you guys, to build a better product, because we're going to be able to hire so many more engineers and just really push at this vision that we've always had about the trade that much faster. And so without further ado, I want to introduce Liza, who's a VP at Houzz, and we're going to put her in the hot seat, and you guys will write in your questions and we will ask her them. So get ready, Liza.
I'm ready.
Great.
And thanks for having me on, guys. For folks that don't know me, I'm the Vice President of Industry Marketing at Houzz. I've been with Houzz for almost 7 years. My role really is working with everything trade. So I work with all of the designers and small businesses in our community, work with all the manufacturers and brands, and so really everything trade facing. So work with our community, and looking forward to working very closely with the Ivy community too.
Great, so why don't we start? Let's see, so we already have a question. The question is, why was Houzz interested in Ivy?
Good question, yeah, good question. I know there's been a lot of discussion about that, and really it's pretty straightforward. I mean, Houzz wants to provide more tools that empower the trade, and not so that we can mine them for data. I know that's been a concern, but really so that we can do a better job than we have lately of balancing how we serve both consumers and the trade. You know, if you think back to when Houzz started, idea books were the first tool we built that served both consumers and designers, really making it easier for clients, right, who don't have the vocabulary, they don't have the eye, they don't have the skill set, right, that you designers have, to have an easier time communicating what they like and don't like to you, their designer. But it also served designers, and it made it easier for them to get into the heads of their clients and to share what they were thinking for projects as well. So, you know, we're very aware that many designers feel that on Houzz, that pendulum is swung towards supporting consumers far more than the trade. And we've been looking into for quite a while what tools would have the biggest impact for the trade. And the Ivy team and product, you know, have already proven to have enormous value for designers. Right? You're all using it. You know the value that it has for your business. So we didn't have to build it from scratch to be able to offer it to more folks. And, you know, really together we wanted to make it the best tool for the industry, hands down, and of course the Ivy community's input will be part of that.
Great, thank you so much. And on that point, actually, I see another relevant question, which is, what is Houzz doing right now to make Ivy stronger?
Sure. I know you guys are living it on a daily basis, Alex and Lee and the whole Ivy team, but really the immediate thing is adding resources to support different parts of the Ivy team. That's the biggest thing. More engineers is one thing. We both have teams in Tel Aviv, and so we're strengthening the team there. We're adding more support people so we can make sure that Ivy members are successful. We're able to help them.
I think you guys will be very excited about this.
Yeah, help them. Even just getting started, right, and making sure they're successful and really using the tool as deeply as they can, right, and getting the most benefit for it. So we're working together with the core Ivy team, with Alex and Lee and everybody else on the product roadmap, because they know very well what features are on the top of your list.
Great, and there's so many guys. Again, if we can't get to all of your questions, we will follow up. But so there's many of you writing in, so I'm just going at the whatever comes in first. So the next one is, what are some ways Houzz actively strives to promote the value of interior designers? Great question. This is coming from Karen in Chicago.
Yeah, great question, and something that I feel passionately about, having been with Houzz for so long. I mean, really for the last 6.5 years, I've witnessed the positive impact Houzz has had on the design industry. I've been living it firsthand. Houzz created the first truly global marketplace for design services. It really showcased the breadth of talent and creativity out there. Put lots of designers on the map, put cities on the map for design that were smaller markets before. And really, one of the things we did also was making sure that every image, that showcased that incredible work is always linked to the designer who created it. And that's really unique to Houzz, to make sure that when people saw those images, they can get back to the designers who created them and hire them. And as a result, we've helped, many designers build their businesses, get projects locally from around the world, projects they never dreamed of. People, designers come to me with stories about celebrity clients, about people moving across the country and didn't know who to call and found them on Houzz, clients who became lifelong friends, great business success stories of being able to open offices where they were like a one-man show working out of their house, being able to hire staff, and just having the joy of being hired by someone because the client fell in love with their work. And that's, it's been an incredibly rewarding. And again, one of the reasons why we want to, make sure we're striking the right balance. I also hear from designers on a regular basis, how much they want help educating the public on the value of good design. I know, obviously showcasing their work probably, does more to show people what a true professional can do. I've hired interior designers for my own home, so I know firsthand, and you guys certainly do, a DIYer isn't going to get the same result. There's just no comparison, right? Somebody that's doing something on their own cannot pull together the same quality of finished space as a professional. So they certainly see that in the images. We also publish articles regularly about how to work with designers, how to choose them, what questions to ask, and other professionals as well. And also just on what designers do. I know it was eye-opening for me when I went through my project of just understanding how they source and what resources they have, and things I never would have been able to do on my own. So sometimes there's just a huge gap in knowledge about what designers actually do. So we try to fill that as well. All the things that go into a design project that where it really makes a difference to have professional help. And I don't know if you've seen it, but we also just launched an ad campaign that's running on national and cable TV, telling consumers that Houzz is the best place to hire professional help. It's focused specifically on that. Designers are featured in that, and it's really focused on the value of hiring a professional if you want to create a space that you'll love.
Great. I think that's great, and that's also something that you guys can help contribute to. We want to hear your feedback on how together we can help educate consumers about the design community.
This is the one. Alex, do this one. We've got this one a lot.
Wow, yeah, that's a good one, Liza, for you. So how will Houzz use Ivy members' data? That's come up a bunch.
Yeah, it's come up. I mean, I think, Ivy users on Houzz and Houzz users as well thinking about using Ivy have asked that in our community discussions as well. So I think it's important for us to reassure the design community that our goal here and with Ivy is to empower them, not to compete with designers. We won't be using Ivy data for advertising. We're not going to use it to target your clients in any way or to try to go around you and sell them products. There are not going to be strange surprises popping up. it's not going to happen. So the only way that we're really thinking about using data is, I think, the same way that Ivy has in the past, which is using it to improve the Ivy tool. So looking at how you designers are using the tool and using that to maybe help suggest new features or figure out how we can make the tool more efficient and work better for designers. Mm-hmm. That's really the focus.
Yeah, and that's very standard for any kind of platform that would provide services online.
Okay, so actually I'm going to do a question that's fairly tied to that mm-hmm. one. Seth says, will Houzz use my client information to retarget and advertise to my clients?
Got it. So definitely not. And I think this is the important point, which is, if we abuse your trust, you Ivy customers, if we abuse your trust, you're not going to stick around. You won't be a champion for the product, and having you all as champions for the product has been, really instrumental in Ivy's growth to date. So it's important that Ivy and, Houzz as part of Ivy continue to deserve your trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and another hot topic actually has been our Facebook group. We've had a couple questions, and I see a bunch of questions popping up here. One of them is, since Houzz is now part of our Facebook group, a designer safe space for interior designers, how is Houzz using this data and information?
Yeah, and I think it's as you said, it's a similar question, and the response is similar. It's still a safe space. I want to reassure people we're not doing anything there to compete with designers. We think the Facebook group is a really great resource for designers, and our goal is to bring more designers into that group to participate, which I think, right, given the way that group works, having more designers in there sharing their information and best practices is only going to strengthen it. We're certainly not using it to compete with designers. So hopefully it will only get stronger and even more valuable to the group.
Yeah, and on that point, actually, one thing that I'm really excited about with this Houzz partnership is we now have the resources to make this knowledge exchange even stronger, which is really exciting for us, because one thing we've seen is that Ivy is a great place to run your existing business, but it's also a great place to basically enhance what you're doing, learning best practices, connecting with designers in your city as well as outside of your own city. So that's one thing that you will see. We'll be able to put more manpower into making that knowledge exchange even more powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely.
So here's another one. I see that Houzz has already removed tags from designer photos. When did you make this change? Why did you make this change? That's a great one.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I know Alex and Lee, you posted our founder. So if people don't know the story about Houzz, it was founded by a husband and wife. She's our CEO, he's our president, they're co-founders. Alon is the husband and president, and he wrote a note that I know you posted to the community about the specifics. But we made the change on February 9th, which was the same week that we made this announcement about Houzz and Ivy coming together. And it was really based on the overwhelming feedback that we got from the design community about the tags. I think it was, kind of a tipping point for folks to express just how strongly they felt about that. And so we made that change the same week. For sure, we're not perfect, but we are listening, and we do care. And I know you guys are continuing to collect feedback, and we're continuing to think about what we can build that really will continue to help the design community and support it.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point, though, that you guys listen. So that's another thing to you guys out there listening right now. If you have feedback for Houzz or Ivy, their channels of dialogue are open too. So they want to hear from you just like we want to hear from you. And I think this is a really nice way to see that you guys are listening.
So we have a question about Houzz Pro. So if I'm a Houzz Pro, but unhappy with my current account manager, what can I do?
Got it. Okay, so I think these are folks that are participating in Pro Plus, which is our local advertising program. So we definitely want to make sure that people are working with somebody where they can build a great working relationship. I think we have that in the majority of cases. If that's not happening, please don't hesitate to let me know, and we'll address that. My email address is Liza, Liza @houzz.com. So I'm pretty easy to reach, and you can always shoot me a note with thoughts or ideas, or again, if you have any issue, let me know, and we'll take care of it.
So another one, how does an Ivy member become a Houzz Pro Plus customer and get local branding and advertising? Do Ivy members receive a discount on Houzz Pro Plus?
Got it. Great. I'm glad.
Why don't you describe a little bit about what Pro Plus is, I guess.
Discounts people.
That some people know what it is, but
thanks, Stephanie.
For others.
Yep. Yeah, so Pro Plus is basically the local branding and advertising program that we built. I guess it's been 5 years now that the program's been running. And there are a few different aspects to the program, but basically it puts designers and other pros work in front of homeowners in their local area who are using Houzz. So when people are browsing photos on Houzz, for example, if they're looking at kitchen or living room photos, we're able to put your work and a photo of your work and more information about your business in front of them. And they don't see it as advertising. It's not like banner ads that are kind of interruptive and annoying. This is a great way for people to see your work, and they save it to their idea books. And we find that a lot of designers actually get hired because they realize they've saved the same designer's photos to their idea books over and over again. So that's one part of the program. The other is placement in our local directory, our Find a Pro directory. Again, a lot of ways that we drive traffic there. The National Ad Campaign is one of them. But that lets people who are looking, for example, specifically for an interior designer in their area, to look through the directory, go directly to a designer's profile, read reviews, see their projects, etc. And the difference between, participating in Pro Plus and just having a free organic profile is really getting guaranteed exposure. So like any advertising program, it's guaranteed exposure in your local area. If you're using Houzz for free, then you may be getting exposure all over the world, depending on how active you are and what you're doing on the platform. Pro Plus lets you target exactly the areas where you're trying to get customers. So we actually have designers, for example, in Minneapolis that are advertising in Austin because they work there too, or in New York who are advertising in Palm Beach because it's a great resort community. So we get a lot of that too, where folks are trying to build a brand and a name for themselves, and it's nice because it really enables them to build their brand because it's putting their work in front of customers. Those are the strengths of the program. So how do you do it? You can just, if you want to find out more, then we can have somebody walk you through the program one-on-one and show you exactly how it works. You can shoot us a note if you send it to grow, GROW @houzz.com, or to me, doesn't matter. We'll make sure we get somebody to walk you through the program. For Ivy members, we're doing a special discount. If they're new to Pro Plus, they can get 30% off a new Pro Plus program. If you're already a Pro Plus member, then you can get 30% off an additional area. So if you want to expand where you're advertising or target a resort market, as I said, we're going to give you 30% off any additional area.
Actually, I saw a question earlier that's linked to what you're just saying, so I'm just going to raise it now. Let me see. Yeah, people were wondering if they need to have a Houzz profile to be using Ivy moving forward.
Yeah, that's a do not. You can use Ivy with a Houzz profile. You don't have to participate on Houzz to use Ivy. It's a separate login and a separate site. So obviously, we hope that you will, but it's not necessary.
We had a bit of a glitch with the internet, so just for people, if you haven't heard, you do not need a Houzz profile to be using Ivy and vice versa. So it's two distinct product and offerings.
Okay, so we're almost about to be wrapping up, so let's want one that kind of sums this. Yeah, that's a good one. This is a good one because I actually think it encapsulates what we're all about. So what's Houzz's focus for helping the trade in 2018?
Yeah, I think that's a good question, and again, it's been great to have your input and the input from the trade. I think one big area of focus for us is the trade program. We have tens of thousands of interior designers, believe it or not, already taking advantage of it, and we just launched this past April. They use it to get access to discounted products, as well as for help with expediting, which obviously is time consuming and not so profitable. So actually, this is a good opportunity. I'm glad somebody asked about it because I've been getting a lot of questions lately that indicate to me there's a lot of confusion around how the trade program actually works and what the discounts are. So I just want to take a minute and clear up that confusion that I've been hearing about the program. I've been hearing that the discounts we offer are only 10%. So I understand why that, how that came about, which I'll explain, but it's actually not the case. So we actually offer discounts up to 50%, and we have 30,000 products that are at a 25% discount or higher. And when we say discount, I'm not talking about MSRP. I'm talking about the price offered to consumers on Houzz. So like they won't find it for, you know, off the price that your clients will see. Now, because designers have so many different business models, when we actually developed the program, I talked to a ton of designers about, you know, about how they work. And so, you know, we wanted to design it, you know, most designers purchase at least some products at retail, right? Some do mostly customs, some do mostly retail, but, you know, there's usually some sort of retail product piece to almost every project to have it come in a budget. And so, you know, where the 10% comes in is that we have some designers whose business models are primarily fee-based, and if they buy products at retail, they have the consumer buy it, like they'll buy the custom and they'll do the markup, but they don't want to deal with, they don't have to deal with returns. They want to deal with anything associated with retail at all. So for those designers, we have a program where if they recommend the product from Houzz by putting in an idea book, but then the client actually does the purchasing, the designer actually earns 10% credit on Houzz for that purchase. So they earn money and they don't have to deal with all the administrivia. If that's their model, then that's an option for them for retail products. However, that's just for one particular business model. Right. For folks that do the markups on retail products, we do have lots of products available where, you know, they can earn a decent margin on those products. And then again, we have account managers to try to help with the expediting and try to offload all of the administrative time that, you know, that causes issues with profitability. So the goal was really to have options for all business models, but it's definitely caused some confusion. So I hope that helps. I also want to let folks know we're increasing the number of products that we carry that are truly exclusive to Houzz and that have significant trade discounts so that designers are less likely to be shopped. So that's also a big area of investment for us. Again, that's another way that we're trying to help designers protect their margins and their markups.
Yeah, and that's feedback that we've been receiving as well, and something we feel very passionate about. So we're very excited about this, as we'll be increasing the offering with bigger discounts so that, you know, you guys can still make money from products and not just services. Great, so unfortunately we have to wrap up. There's more questions coming in, but we don't have time for them. I'm so sorry, but please, again, feel free to email both of us. Email Liza if you have more questions. We are available all the time. We want to speak to you guys on the phone, so never hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, and like Alex said, we are here. We want to speak to you. If you have concerns, talk to us, because we will share with you from our heart to yours why we really believe that this is the best thing for our Ivy community that we love, and we look forward to showing you why this makes sense to us and why this is for the best for your business.
Great. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Liza.
Thanks, Liza.
Bye. Thank you.